Hello to all my teaching friends. What we're going to look at today is Quizlet. Quizlet is an amazing tool for the development of vocabulary and terminology. Just a few of the things that I really enjoy about Quizlet is the fact that, one, it does connect with Google Classroom, which I use a lot. It provides fantastic study aids for students. They get to create their own study aids, and the fact that it does allow them to play games, to let the vocabulary learning become more than just learning and actually throws a little bit of fun in with it also. So let's go ahead and get started. What I would suggest is Quizlet does interact well with Google, so just simply click login. Click login with Google. I've already created an account, so you will have to go in and answer a few questions, but other than that, it is literally that simple. Initially, what I would suggest is they do give you the option to create a class. Once you click create a class, you simply go in and add a class name. I'll call this demonstration. The description is optional. And you find your school. Mine is Horry County Education Center, but select another school to find the school that you're currently at, and click Create Class. Now, with this, you have two different options for adding members to your class, adding your students in. If you use Google Classroom, you can simply click Connect with Google Classroom, and you'll go through the setup for that, in which case it will automatically add the invitation to your Google Classroom. If you do not use Google Classroom, you can very simply send this link to your students or write the link on the board, whichever way that works best for you. In order to create a set, you simply click Create. It's very intuitive, very user-friendly. And it, depending on the information, depending on the unit that we're working on, either I may create the set for them to use, but most of the time, instead of having my students copy down definitions and do it by hand, usually I will have them create their own set. That way, the definition is in their own terminology, something that they understand and that they will be able to use. You get them to provide a title, whether it be Unit 3 or the title of the unit, ever how you want them to title it. Then they can put the term in on this side, put the definition in on this side. One thing that I do like to add is I like for them to add an image to add in a little bit more of a visual aspect to these definitions. Once they are finished and they're all put in, they simply click Create. Now, if we go back to Quizlet, one thing that I want you to see right here, where it says Browse Diagrams. The Browse Diagrams button takes you to their section of diagrams. They're already pre-designed. You can see there are plenty. But I want you to also realize that they give you the option to create your own diagram. So if you have a diagram for your class that you want them to match these terms to, you can create your own or very easily use one of these that they've already got created. And they are categorized by topic. As you can see, science is very big in this one, along with social studies, even foreign languages. So this would be something that I would highly recommend you going in and exploring, because again, this is deployable on Google Classroom. Also, one other thing that I do want to pull up one of my previous classes. Once they are studying a set, they get a lot of options to how to learn them, to use them as flashcards, where they have to write it, spell the terms. They can even self-test. But what I found to be very useful are these games. All right. These are matching games, memory games, basically helping them become more familiar in a fun way with the terms. What I have done in my classes is I've used these games. If students finished early, they went in and played the games for their vocabulary for the unit we're working on. And oftentimes it turned into a competition to see who could do better, who could do the best, get a better time. They really enjoyed it, really got into it, and it actually showed great gains on their tests and any vocabulary quizzes. So I would highly suggest using this feature in class, especially as time permits. Now, one of the last things that I do want to point out is you do have this option to upgrade to teacher. If you click it, it is only $3 a month, and what it does is it removes all ads. It gives you a little bit more option of tracking your student progress, of how they're using Quizlet, so that you can address any issues of not using it appropriately so far as for study purposes. Gives you more options to create more engaging content, Quizlet Live customizations, more organization of your classes, developing even more diagrams. It gives you offline access and even the night theme. So it'll change the color scheme to make it more appealing at night. Overall, I would say that this is a fantastic tool, especially in my realm with science. Terminology is very, very important to understanding the concepts of science. So I would highly suggest exploring this tool and using it in your classrooms. I hope this benefits you greatly. Thank you.